Howdy! Are you ready to create, share, spread joy by making creations that are a reflection of you? If so, stay tuned to be inspired. Is everybody ready to make some monsters for Halloween? Today I'm going to show you how to make these 3 monsters. They're quick, they're easy, and they're fun. So let's get started. We are going to take a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and we are going to cut it at 5 3/4, and then we're going to turn it around and we're going to cut it again at 5 3/4, and this is the size of our template that is needed. Next, we are going to score each end of the paper at 1 1/2. So on one side we're scoring at 1 1/2, then we're going to flip over and score at 1 1/2 again. Next, you're going to get your candy bar and you want to tape the ends of the bar down with some Scotch tape. So you'll tape both ends, and you'll do this on each of the candy bars you made. And that way that just hides that piece from popping out. Now you take the score side and you lay it flat down and you fold over the paper on each side. You'll take some sticky strip double-sided tape. You will adhere it down to the candy bar cover, peel off the back, and then stick this together. Flip it over and let's get to decorating our first monster. You are going to take a sheet, again that's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 of a different color. You are going to take your dominant hand, and I am right-handed, so I'm going to tear right to left, and then you're going to want to tear off the bottom here, right to left. This gives some texture to the monster. Then I'm going to put that one to the side. I want to do the top one first, so I'm going to do the same technique. They don't have to be the same size. That's the fun part about making a monster. No 2 monsters have to look alike. So we're going to take our double-sided tape here, and we're going to put a piece on each side of this wrapper. One will connect to the actual candy wrapper, which is the blue paper, and the other one will connect to the green. So we'll wrap that around and position it where we want, and it'll stick on the back. Now I'm going to make a wider middle piece. So again, I'm going to tear to get that textured look, and I'm just going to repeat this process. The fun thing about this is these monsters can be all sorts of different colors. And they come together so quickly. They're going to make great trick-or-treat surprises for the kids. You can, during this pandemic, send these to a grandchild through the mail, or a child that you know, or if you're going to do a trunk or treat, you'll have all these little monsters ready to go that you could put up in a basket. So sometimes I can't always find the end of this double-sided tape, but I absolutely love it for these types of projects. It really adheres, it doesn't come apart. It's a real warrior, so I highly recommend that. So now that our monster has his stripes, we're going to have to make teeth. And this is super easy. You just take a sheet of white paper and you just take your scissors and make triangles. Again, the teeth don't have to be the same. These are monsters. So we want funny looking teeth. And then you can stick the teeth on the outside here like I'm showing you, but I think what I'm going to do is tuck these teeth underneath. So I'm going to take my Tombow adhesive and put it on the very top, and then stick that up underneath and press down. And then I will do that here on this other tooth as well. And the only thing missing for this monster is his eye to make his face come alive. So I'm going to take this large eye, and even if it already has adhesive on it, I always like to stick this double stick it tape on there, and we'll put this large eye. So now we have a one-eyed monster. On to the next one. And here's another variation of that same monster that I made, and I made a smaller strip in the middle and stuck his teeth in there. So there's another idea for you. Now we're going to take another candy bar. We need to have taped down the ends with our Scotch tape. Remember that. We'll take our double-sided tape and we will adhere the candy bar together. And if you notice, I am a messy crafter and I fumble a lot, but I still enjoy my crafting. So now we're going to make ears. We're going to get a scrap piece of paper and we're just going to make a triangle again for this monster. And we're going to get another scrap piece of paper of a different color and we're going to cut that too and make another triangle. So I love to use up my scrap paper. This is just a great thing. And the triangles don't have to be the same shape. Again, remember, we're making a monster and he's got to look scary. He doesn't have to be symmetrical. He doesn't have to be perfect. So we will take a little bit of this Tombow adhesive, put it at the bottom, and just tuck it in behind that paper for his ears. And now we're going to need to make a mouth. And this is going to be real simple. Again, we're going to take a scrap piece of paper. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to cut off a little mouth. And we're going to put that across there. And we're going to need teeth again for this monster. And so for this monster, I'm going to take another scrap piece of paper. I'm going to cut out 3 teeth for this monster. And we're going to adhere the teeth down to the mouth with our Tombow adhesive. So the trick is to run the adhesive across, take your teeth and lay them down on the paper, and they will already stick there. And then we will take our Tombow adhesive again and we will run it across, and now we can stick it down for the mouth. And now the fun part, we're going to add some googly eyes, and this time we're going to add 2 different eyes with 2 different sizes to really make this monster look crazy. And again, I recommend putting this down with double-sided tape, even if your eyes have adhesive on them already. It really makes sure you have a nice, strong hold to your monster. And yes, with these embellishments and eyes, you'll see I just can't keep hold of them. And that's all right. It's just part of the fun of crafting. And now I want to add some spots to my monster. So I get out my 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm going to use some more scrap paper, and I'm going to cut 2 blue circles out, and then I'm going to get a piece of my yellow scrapbook paper and I'm going to cut out 3 circles from that scrap. And now I'm going to place them down, and I think I'll do it kind of diagonal and use my Tombow adhesive to put them in place. So as you can see, I've just made a mess all around me, but this is just the way I create. And I know other people like to just be really nice and neat. I'm just a messy crafter. I'm a messy worker, but then I just clean it all up. So we'll put our spots on here, and we will already have our second monster created. Just so quick and easy. For this next one, we're going to use an embossing folder to get a design on the candy bar. I'm using the Cuttlebug to do this. I'm folding it and sticking it into my embossing folder and going to run it through the screen. I'm using chicken wire. You can use any embossing folder just as long as it puts a design onto the piece of paper. And that's just going to add some texture and dimension to this candy bar. So next, you can see the texture and everything on the candy bar. We've put the candy bar in. Remember to tape down the 2 flaps. Now we want to add our eyes, and we're going to make a 3-eyed monster. And this one I'm going to have more fun with because I want to put colored eyes on there just to add some extra little pop to this monster. So I like that. So I'm going to adhere down the 3 eyeballs with the double sticky tape. And I just think having those extra little eyes with those eyelashes and the colors is just so funny. It really makes for a unique monster. But if you don't have the eyelashes, just use smaller eyes or use 3 different size eyes. Use your imagination on this monster. And if you don't have eyeballs, you can also use your circle punch to make your own eyeballs and position them however you would like. But I think having the one big one in the middle is kind of cool with the 2 little eyeballs on the side. And having the texture on there just really raises this monster up another notch. It's just going to be fun. And I think it looks like a girl monster, but maybe it's a boy monster. I don't know. But anyway, next we're going to have a mouth for this monster. So I'm going to take another piece of paper and cut a strip for the mouth. Remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's a monster. He's supposed to look funny. And we're going to adhere this down with the Tombow adhesive and use 2 teeth for this one. But we're also going to kind of put a tongue hanging out. So how we're going to do this is put the adhesive down and then stick the teeth one on each side. And then with my circle punch, I have cut out a round circle. Now you can use a plain round circle, or you can put glossy accents on the circle, however you want. But now he has 2 fangs and part of a tongue sticking out. And this one I want to make sure it really stays down, so I'm going to take some of that double-sided tape, put on the back of it, and then adhere the mouth down. And now we have our 3-eyed monster. Let's take a closer look of the 3 monsters that we've created. If you have enjoyed this video, I ask that you please subscribe so that you can come back and we can make more creations together. And if you like the video, hit the like button. I appreciate it. And thanks for stopping by. Have a happy Halloween.